That's what I'm talking about.
Lori Harder was one of the first women that I followed when I first started my journey of entrepreneurship. And I think it was honestly back when she was still doing like network marketing and fitness. And I was like, this woman is absolutely amazing. And I've just been in her world and followed her and became friends with her, was on her podcast, and just developed a really beautiful relationship with her because she is one of those female entrepreneurs who has so much resilience, has so much just grit, has such a zest for the game of entrepreneurship. It is truly so inspiring. I brought her into Women in Wealth, our 2-day event, which, by the way, yes, we are doing it again in 2026. So early November 2026, mark your calendars. It's going to be a party. It will be in San Diego again. But anyways, I digress. I brought in Lori because she's just a stand for women in business, just because she's been in the game for so long and she's had so many opportunities for her to develop such deep skill when it comes to personal development. And this is one of the things that I respect so much. Like, well, first of all, business is just like a black hole of never-ending problems that we have to solve. And as long as we don't take those defeats as failure and we don't define ourselves as failures and we just keep moving and learning and growing, the more that we learn, the more that we earn. And Lori is just such a stand for that in every sense of the imagination. I respect her. I love her. I love what she's built. I love seeing her. I've loved celebrating her in her highs, and I've loved seeing who she became when, business was not going well, which she shares about all in this episode, which if you're someone who, you spend too much time on social media and you're like, everyone's crushing it except for me, Lori just makes it so raw and so real and talks about the just down and dirty suck of entrepreneurship sometimes that we get to move through in order to be just better at the game, At the end of the day, like that's what it is. It's the game of entrepreneurship, and you gotta love the game and you gotta know how it works, and you gotta realize like you're not always gonna win, even though it looks like everyone around you is winning. It's not true. People are up, people are down, people are sideways. It's scary, it's amazing, and sometimes it happens all in one freaking hour. So I loved her transmission. I loved her work on this. If you have not yet heard, we are enrolling for the Life Mastermind 2026. So life is my acronym for business, and it means lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. How can we just make it super cash flow fun? How can we impact people's lives so that they change on a cellular level? How can we make business fun again? Like, how can we express ourselves in business? It is your art, it is your creativity. And how can we make it easeful, right? Where our ambition is not overriding our nervous system, but we're really doing it in a way that feels aligned with our bodies, aligned with our souls. So in 2026, I am taking a group of women through a 12-month experience. Half of this is going to be tactical business strategy, where I'm going to be teaching you how to actually market yourself online, build funnels, just do the dang thing from like a practical sense. And the other half of it is, who do you have to be as a woman in business to not get in your own way and self-sabotage and play small, but really rise above any perceived limitations and really step into your greatness so you can take your gifts, you can take what's in your body and actually share it with the world in a way that feels so good. So go to pausebreathwork.com/mastermind. That's pausebreathwork.com/mastermind. Apply and book a call. I read and review every single application, so take your time with it. I want to really feel your energy in the application, and I really want to get to know you a little bit. So take your time with it, make yourself a cup of tea, do your thing, and fill it out, and I would love to meet you. All right, let's dive right into today's episode with Lori Harder.
Can't be contained.
Yeah, baby.
Hello, how are you?
All right, guys. We have someone. Turn it down a little bit. We have someone so excited in the house. Can I get a warm welcome to the one, the only Lori Harder? Woo! The queen is in the house. There she is. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah! Woo! So
Look at this
good.
room.
I know, they're so fun, right? All right, give 2 big hugs. You know how it goes. 2 big hugs. And sit your booty down.
Woo. Woo. Oh, now I can't breathe.
I'm like, oh, cardio.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that cardio.
that was cardio for sure.
Oh, man.
These are comfy.
What's that?
So these chairs are comfy.
I know, right? We can just lounge. We're just gonna lounge. All right, let's get those hot butts and those hot seats. Let's do this. Oh my God, the vibes are high in here. I'm loving this right now. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Oh. All right, if you can hear me, you know the deal. If you can hear me, say shh.
That was good.
It works so good, right? At every retreat. I am honored you were here.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored. Are you
honored.
kidding me?
Oh my gosh, I'm
She's
honored.
been to so many of my events, and I'm like, are you kidding? This is like a daydream come true. Thank you so much for
It's
having
so,
me.
so cool. I have this very distinct memory, Lori, of you really when I first started entrepreneurship. And I got introduced to you through Elizabeth D'Alto.
Yeah.
Randomly, like 8, 9 years ago, maybe now. And you invited me on your podcast, and I was blown away. I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel so honored. I was so honored. I was just like a little baby chicken nugget entrepreneur, and I had the privilege of being on your massive podcast, and it really was such a gift and such an honor. And something that I love so much about this woman is she is such a stand for sisterhood. She is such a stand for elevating women, and she lives it and breathes it and acts it every single day, and it's intoxicating to watch, and it's what the world needs. So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. And thank you so much for that. Like, it's so funny because if I flipped the script, I was like, oh my God, there's this really cool girl coming to my house and I'm so nervous. Like, you're just always, I was nervous for that. Don't you wish we could have just shared that and been like, where are we at in this moment?
It's crazy. It's crazy because we all have all of these like little insecurities, right? All these connection things, all these like things about like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And even, doing like the biggest things in the world, we always talk about the work never ends, right? The work never ends. Like no matter the next milestone or the next revenue goal or whatever it is, there's always our little inner girl, many little inner girls that we have that we just get to tend to and love. So I'm curious for you. Krista Williams asked me this yesterday. What season would you describe this season of you right now?
I can only laugh. I can only throw my head back and laugh at how hard life is lifing. Because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. So with that though, like you guys know when you are in the level of expansion, like you're also simultaneously like getting a lot of things that you have always dreamed of, and you just didn't quite understand what maybe comes with those things and the responsibility of those things. And so I think I'm in simultaneously such a beautiful place. And also this is the most stretched I've ever been in my life. Like in leadership, in just this exact season, there's a lot that's falling right now. Like if any of you run masterminds or filling like events or programs, it's like like 3 of our things are somehow all getting filled right now while my company is also in a fundraise. Like while we just did a relaunch of the flavors and the branding, like it all literally somehow
right now
happened at once. So sleep has been pretty sketchy. And for me, who's a sleeper in here? Who's like, I might be Satan the devil if you don't get like sleep. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of Beelzebubs in here. I like this. I'm with my people. And so for me, like when I don't get sleep, you also can feel very weak, And I'm always trying to remember in this season that we don't get to really understand what faith is or how strong we are until we are at our weakest point. And so I'm just in such a season of, instead of like feeling weak, I'm like, this is such an opportunity to rely on faith. Like I have fully been on my knees praying this week, probably no less than 3 times, like fully on knees on the couch, like praying in that way. And it's been, I'm watching the gifts and miracles happen, but it is full surrender season for me. Full surrender season. And it's good.
It's so funny that you said that because we've just been really talking about this theme of
when it's uncertain, when it's scary, and the choice that we get to make and who we get to become in those moments define everything, right? Rather than being like, oh God, this is so terrible. Blah, blah. It's like faith. Can I have, it like makes me emotional. Can I just have faith that the hard thing that we're going through, or like the challenging business thing or the family thing, it's like, can I have faith that God's got me? I'm God. I'm not dropped. I'm not forgotten. I am protected, and everything is happening for me in perfect timing. And who do I get to be to hold that vibration without any wobble? And what's cool, babe, is I've seen you do this over and over and over and over and over and over again for the last like 12 years. Of you are constantly one chasing the mountaintops. Like, you're not here to play small. You are here to play the biggest game with your heart cracked wide open, using all of your God-given gifts. And of course, we're gonna get rocked. We have to in order. Your next level is like so insane that anything that we're going through right now is just preparing, making us stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it is a game of faith. I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, I think it's the constant remembrance for all of us is you don't become strong when you feel strong. You actually, when you feel strong, sometimes you're doing like you're just kind of floating through life, right? When you're strong, you're not really having to deal with a lot. You just feel good. Like, it's just like, I'm going to use some gym analogies because I was a gym rat. You know, this is where I came from, fitness background. And I actually love having a fitness background because I see the parallels of the body, the breakdowns, and how that all works. And when you are trying to be your strongest, you actually have to go and consciously choose to go get broken down daily. And so this is what we're doing every single day, is when you choose entrepreneurship or to follow your biggest dream, whatever that looks like, you're consciously choosing to get broken down every day. But then we get mad at the path in which we've chosen to get stronger. And it's the only way to do it, though. So when you think of, you know, you have that woman in your head that you see who you know you are. Raise your hand if you see her. Okay, all of us. Except the only path to get there is that massive breaking down over and over. And so we get mad at the problems. We get mad when we can't understand why things didn't go right, when that person betrayed us, when it's like we're hitting a wall over and over. Well, the challenges are the actual gifts in the way to get there, no matter what. So every time a challenge comes, I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, this is a delivery of, this is the exact way. This is the dumbbell, right? Those challenges are the actual dumbbell. Because when I used to own a gym, if you would walk into my gym and I'm like, I'm going to give you the best body of your life, but you didn't see any weight, like there was no resistance. You walk in and there's no resistance in my gym. There's nothing. There's just like padded pillows. And I'm like, you're going to sit and get so comfy and get so hot. Would you believe me? No. But if I said, see that heavy ass squat rack bar? You're going to get underneath it and you're going to squat like you've never squatted in your life. And you're going to put so much weight on your back, it's going to break you down and you're going to think you can't do it. But do you trust me that that will make you hot and give you a round ass? What would you say? What would you say? You'd be like, set a drink on this, baby. And we'd go to town. And so this is what problems are. Is problems are coming to you every single day. It's literally you get to walk in the room of, how do I become the woman that I'm going to become? And you wake up and they're in your email, you guys. You get to solve the challenges that are in your email, that are in your daily life, that are on your team, that is in your family, that is all the things. And I think something that we forget is like, when we're in those seasons, we're really just growing our capacity. And so if things feel hard this year, who's going through kind of a hard season right now? Okay. You're going to look back on the things that you're doing right now next year, and you're not going to believe that you're able to handle double to triple to maybe quadruple of what you're doing right now. I had a day the other day where I was like, what I did today in one day and what I handled and what I went through emotionally and just like how I was able to move from task to task is something that would have probably, like I would have put in a 3 to 6 month span in my old life of like, this is so hard. I can't believe I have this meeting and have to lay these people off. And then from that meeting, I have to go be a leader to something. And then from that, I have to go do a live podcast. And then from that, I'm doing something else. And I was like, look at, if we don't stop. If you don't stop right now in your life and look at your capacity last year to this year, you're never going to enjoy any of this. So I like literally today, I want you to think about your next very challenging day. That's the only way to grow your capacity. And everything that we want to do is it's going to be asking you to hold more. And so I think it is, I'm not telling women to be emotionless from thing to thing, but I am saying a really big, beautiful thing that we can work on is compartmentalizing. Compartmentalizing an emotion and going, this is really hard, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this thing. And then I highly, highly recommend to go and have a group of female friends or other entrepreneurs or other people who are in it with you. Like, make sure if you don't have a group of friends that you go home from this event, that's why these events are amazing, is you need to have women who, we were just talking about this in the backstage. And the difference between, I believe, people who can do this, meaning go for your dreams, and those who can't, those who stop, is they don't have the people they can fall apart around who understand it. And I have my group of women that I can completely fall apart around. And when we get to do that, you guys know that that is just like, it's cathartic, right? And it's clearing. And the more the depths that you can get to fall apart, not the cute fall apart, like the ugly cry, snot, like I don't know what I'm living for anymore type of fall apart. Like, I got sold a shitty ass boss babe dream type of fall apart. Do you know what I mean? I said that to my husband last week. I'm like, I got sold a boss babe dream and it sucks. And now I'm like, no, what else would I be doing? Like, I have no idea. But this is life from day to day. But if you don't have those places that you can do that, you're going to stay down longer and longer and longer, and you're not going to want to come back. And so now I have these places very frequently built into my life that when I go to them, now I can come back and I'm like, whoa, I'm amazing in the things that I can handle, and the leader that I've become, and the person that I've become, and how I'm able to view problems and move through them through the day. Don't get me wrong, there's certain times of the month and different life happening that you can feel very weak, and I still can. But I think we need to acknowledge what it actually feels like to be building your capacity and becoming that person who's going to handle the blessing. Because you guys, if a lot of you woke up, how many of you would love to wake up tomorrow with a million followers or a million people in your program, just like overnight? Okay, but I'm not giving you any details on it. Meaning, I've had friends who have woken up with like 40,000 people in a program before that was like a small program. And like, I've had people who've flown to getting massive, massive following from one post, like in the millions, going from a few 100,000 to 1 million. The level of hell that they went through when that happened, the level, they weren't ready for the attack on themselves. Like, they weren't actually prepared for what happened in their programs breaking. In one of the programs that I'm talking about, the people inside deciding to completely turn on them, but they didn't have like the internal systems or people or team set up to like stop it or figure it out. Things breaking, it's like a disaster. And so we don't get things overnight for a reason, a lot of us. And so looking back at a couple of those women, I believe they were absolutely meant to get that overnight because of the fierce, insane leaders that they have become. And I believe it was like their life call to get those things. Do I want that? Maybe not. Like, I'm kind of like, God, I'll take the slower medium build. Is there a medium button? So I really want you to think about when you're thinking of your big dream, could you handle it tomorrow? Or is this season actually really serving you? Is this season really serving you? That you are in those moments where you get that slow, maybe not slow, but like the medium button capacity building. Because when you get to the place that you want to be, you will have to be at an entirely different level with entirely different people around you. Because the people I have around me right now are able to handle the level of problems that I potentially could be facing or am facing right now. And so to bring your problems to some of the people, how many of you, if you brought some of your major problems to your groups of friends, you would feel like they get it and they could solve them for you? Okay, so like, what is that? Like a quarter? A quarter? Yeah, which is amazing and insane. And I feel like these rooms are getting better, that more hands are going up. But for those of you who don't have that yet, I believe that building your business and building your dream, you have to hand in hand build the network. You must. It's not a nice to have. It's not a, oh God, I wish I had that. Yeah. It is I built my network just as hard as I built my business. And if I'm being honest, I work harder on the network because my skill set is not that great in business. But guess what I am good at? Leadership, figuring things out, and getting people who know how to do things, and me selling a dream.
Yeah.
So you have to know like what you need around you.
Quick little pause here because I need to let you in on something that has honestly changed how I run my business. It was so overwhelming. We had so many different tools, emails, funnels, scheduling things, pipelines, payments. It was honestly such a mess. And then I discovered Go High Level. It's literally an all-in-one platform where I can run my entire business under one roof. You guys, it feels so good to go into one platform and see all of our dashboards, the money that we make, the clients that came in, where everybody is. It is so clean and so easy. The automated follow-ups are amazing. The landing pages are amazing. You can even run your memberships and online programs on Go High Level. It's honestly freaking awesome. It doesn't just save me money. It has given me back my sanity in my business because I have complete clarity and confidence where everything is. So if you've been looking for a way to streamline your business, to scale faster, to remove the headaches of like tech and all of that complication and just get back to doing what you freaking love, I have partnered with Go High Level to give you guys a 30-day experience so you can test drive it yourself, see how you love it. Just head on over to pausebreathwork.com/high level. That's pausebreathwork.com/high level. I will also put the link to the free trial in the show notes. And seriously, once you see how powerful this is, you're going to wonder how you freaking ran your business without it. So go to pausebreathwork.com/high level. Dude, that's so good. What's that saying? Your network worth is your net worth?
Your network is your net worth.
There it is. There it is.
So true.
Yeah, it's so true. And there's when you build a network of entrepreneurs and spiritual leaders and people who've done this thing, you tell them your problems, and they're like, yeah.
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who cares? Like the first big legal thing we ever went through, I went to my friends and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing happened. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, just do that. And I'm like, oh, that's all you do?
We have groups of friends who've been like, have you been sued yet? I'm like, it's like a normal thing. Because big businesses, you guys. Yeah. And so we had a table and they're like, how many times have you been sued? And it's just like, is this a real conversation? But it's like totally normal because you guys you'll get rocked when that happens. By the way, I have been sued over a potato salad photo that I used.
Wait, what? Wait, stop. Tell me this.
Careful with your photos, ladies. No, it was like way back in the day when I was doing cookbooks. Yeah. And I had worked with a dietitian who had grabbed a photo offline. And what happened is, you guys, there's con artists out there. I know you know this, but where they put up these are free photos, and then a month later they go see who got them and change everything on the back end.
I didn't know that.
And then charged me. I think it cost I don't know. It was either $4,000 or $14,000. So it wasn't very big, but it was a potato salad photo. It was my first.
That's hilarious.
But when I got the letter, I was like, I'm in trouble. Everything is over. You just think, how did this happen to me with this potato salad, you know? Watch your back.
Until you normalize it and you're just like, it's no big deal. Yeah. Potato, you know?
Exactly.
So I would love for you to share this story of the trampoline moment of your last startup and the breakdown of your last startup, which was really how I see you bouncing into Glossy now, which is this beautiful, amazing brand, which I'm excited for you to share about. Can you share that story?
Yes.
It's powerful.
Yes. All right. So,
buckle up.
Where do we begin? 2020. Remember that year? There was that whole thing that happened. So I just want to back up because in 2017, I had found myself in a really interesting situation that I never thought I'd find myself in, where I had written a list of dreams and I had checked them all off. Now, I know that sounds nice and exciting, but literally, I share that, and it was wonderful and it was exciting, but there was only 2 things on the list. I'm just kidding. There was more. But I come from a really small town in Upper Michigan. I did not graduate high school at all. Still haven't. Tried 3 times. Failed it. And I tell you that because marking off all of these big lifelong dreams of having large women's events for years, of being an entrepreneur, of making billions and millions of dollars just being completely transparent in network marketing, in personal branding, in events, in courses, in all the things that I did. By the way, again, didn't graduate, so you guys can do it too. In 2017, when I had written a book, which was kind of the peak thing, like to me, because of the story that I played on my head was, I'm not smart enough. Does anyone else have that? Okay, I see you. I see all of you. So for me, writing a book from someone who didn't graduate and going through the whole process of like being very linear and writing, getting all of those thoughts on paper and telling stories and all of the things, that felt like my peak. Like that felt like my summit of, if you did this, you proved to yourself that you could do it. So I write the book, I go on the book tour, it's amazing, it's life-changing, it's incredible. And on the other side, you're kind of like, what's next? You know what I mean? Because in this journey, something else I want to point out is just that, you guys, every single thing is not going to make you feel that much different. It's like we really need to enjoy this process. So 2017, when I wrote the book and I'm coming down from it, if anybody knows who's done something really big, you have a bit of a come down? Anyone experience that? Okay. So I have this come down on the other side and I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of did the things and I don't want to write a book again because I wrote a book about friendship and it was the loneliest fucking year of my entire life. I was like, I don't have any friends. I'm telling these women how to connect and I have not seen anyone because you're just like sequestered in a closet.
I had like 50 copies in my house that year from all the events.
I was so lonely that year. We should have talked more. But anyway, I was like, I don't want to write a book again because I think I want to go have friends. And then I was like, there was a conversation going around with a lot of our friends, like in the course world and event world. And while it was amazing, we kind of were starting to feel a little capped out at the 7-figure mark. And while that is so insane for me to even say out loud, and I know you guys will get there and far beyond, which is why I want you to like really lean into this conversation, is that none of my girlfriends were talking about numbers much larger than 7 figures at all, period. End of story. They were lucky if they hit 7 figures at all, and they felt very burnt out. Everyone was extremely burnt out. Who knows, who understands what I'm saying? And even if you're thinking of 7 figures, you're like, I might die if I'm gonna get there. Raise your hand if you're feeling that way. Okay. So I was in that place of not knowing what I wanted to do and really getting a deep guttural call that women are supposed to be extremely wealthy. Like insanely wealthy. Does anyone else feel that way? Okay. Do we think we're going to get there on barely making 7 figures a year? By the way, I think that's a shit ton of money, but I'm saying if it's extremely wealthy, I might have to change how I think about money. Is that right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm still not thinking that way. So I just opened up this like intention of like, okay, I want to either meet women who are making a ton of money or start changing my circle so that their conversation starts becoming my norm. Yeah. And so we were living in LA and my husband was going to these dinners with these guys. And he comes home from these dinners and he's like, Lori, oh my God, I was sitting there with a guy who sold his company for $300 million. And I was sitting with another guy who just did $200 million. And they were just like having the most mind-blowing, brain-lighting up conversations like we don't get to hear at all, like much higher level conversations. And I was like, could you invite me to that dinner? And so I started going to those dinners. And I didn't just start going. When I went, and I invited myself, when I went, I started asking, like, I would be like, this might be a stupid question. What is EBITDA? This might be a stupid question. How do you fundraise? Like, could I fundraise? What does that look like? Like, how much money do you need to start a company like that? Can anyone start it? Do you get help? Because I don't know what you're talking about. Now, in these conversations, what happened is in those stupid questions that felt stupid at the time, I got the most simple, amazing answers. Can you fundraise? Well, yeah, I didn't know how to fundraise. There's this woman. She helped me with the whole thing. She actually gets in the process with you and holds your hand and does this. Oh, okay. Like these incredibly beautiful answers that all of a sudden took something that felt so big and scary and just busted it out in 2 seconds of, well, yeah, but were my friends talking about this? No. So if we aren't in the conversation, how are we ever going to believe it's possible? We're going to think these things are so big for us. So in 2018, I started asking myself, if I had all the money, all the time, and all of the network in the world, what would I do? And so I spent 1 year on our walks. My husband and I go on walks and we do like every single day of our life. And I asked this question on the walk every single day. Now you can imagine I came up with the craziest things. Like I almost started a spot that was called brunch, where you like get together every Sunday and you go drink champagne and you do business things. I'm so glad I didn't start that because the pandemic happened right after. But it was like everything you can imagine, every product you can imagine, I just came up with for a year. And so after a year, I had come up with this idea because I did events like this for a really long time. And when I lived in LA, I was like, why aren't women, I go to these other networking events. They weren't like this. This is very loving and wonderful, and this is exactly where you should be. But I'd go to these LA networking events with a ton of influencers, and everyone would just leave either kind of drunk, unhappy, and no one would ever have an answer. Yeah. Like we'd leave with so many selfies, so many. So it was great for that. Like so much content. It was wonderful. But I would always leave feeling a little empty and without friends. And I'm like, we never talked about the good stuff or like what we actually needed. And so I thought, what if, because I wanted to hit more mainstream women, what if I created like a light, sparkling, like wine, like a spritzer. This is when White Claw had come out. Nothing else had been out. And I was like, White Claw, but we definitely need something very elevated but light that people can, drink more than one of and not feel bad. And then what if we also had a non-alcoholic that looked the exact same, that made our non-alcoholic girlies feel less left out. By the way, drinking was still really cool back then, so I get that it's not anymore, but it was a thing. Okay, so had the non-alc and the alc, and I said, what if we put 3 questions on the back of each can that you actually, when you ask these questions, you will leave with something that you needed and a friend. How's that? So we came up with this whole thing. The formulation was amazing. The cans were awesome. The questions were great. Told a bunch of women about it. They were like, oh my God, I love this, because when I go, I either feel left out for not drinking, or like it'd be nice to have 2 beverages without getting drunk and have like a really light option of like a wine spritzer. Great, we're on a roll. Like we're learning how to do it. We're learning how to raise money. I get $2 million from 54 female investors. We starting this business during the pandemic. So little do I know, well, I learned very quickly, but simultaneously, what was happening in like manufacturing and co-packing? People were not able to go to work. Yeah. There was no people going to work, so there was no this thing that I need called aluminum. So they also had something called the candemic in the manufacturing world. No way. It was very real. They're like, well, welcome to the candemic, where you have to pay X, Y, and Z for aluminum. And so all of my minimum order quantities that we based the business off of and the raise off of went up. So for example, just for a little example, in manufacturing, there's something called an MOQ, a minimum order quantity. And I had wanted these gold lids on the top of my can. Very important. You get it. I wanted these gold lids. And it was like the first minimum order quantity was like 10,000. I'm like, great, we can do that. We can afford that. It went up to $1 million.
What?
Like, I got so priced out, you guys. And so even working with a warehouse, where in the past it would have been like, oh, we love you. Come on, pay us. Like, absolutely, we'll work with you. All startups, let's go. Because they know sometimes startups, you just cycle through. You're going to work with them. You're going to get the cash. Some stay, some don't. Some last, some don't. And instead of people being excited to work with me, I had to write a pitch deck to work with this would be like you having to go to a storage place and begging to store your furniture. And so I had to write a pitch deck, and then they made me guarantee that if I didn't sell through their minimum that they had, which was a very high minimum, that not only would I have to put down $15,000 and they would keep it, but then I would get kicked out and have to figure out what to do with it. And I was like, that's way too much pressure. So this was happening everywhere, you guys. And so spent that year and $1 million from formulation to finish to realize that I had to pivot. $1 million in. I want you to think of all your friends. And I actually, I want you to think of a mentor that you really look up to. Like you put them on a pedestal. I know we're not supposed to do that, but we do it. Put them up there. Put them on the pedestal. Okay. I want you to think of that person, and I want you to think that they gave you money. And then I want you to think of having to tell them that you're going to pivot and you spend $1 million and it didn't work out. When in this business, reputation is everything. That was my capacity building year. And I wasn't sleeping, and I was drinking a lot of wine, and I was gaining weight, and I was crying, and I was anxious, and I was not like a cuddler of my husband. And that year I'd wake him up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and I was like, you have to hold me. I can't regulate. I'm like, I can't fucking regulate. I'm freaking out. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. I need women to know don't do this. I am on the other side saying do this now. But I need you to know what you're going into. I need you to know that it's like we look at those women whose lives, Alice Ellsworth's Poppy, we look at her. Do you want to know what she's been through? Like, if you want that, you need to know how it's going to feel.
Thank you.
And I will tell you that, like, I would never, you could not pay me enough money to not be this woman that I am today in this chair because of it. I would not go back. I would not erase that experience. You guys, because I went through that does not mean this next company will be successful. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I could also not be successful with this company. And I have to be okay with that. Like, that's like, I'm working on it. I'm working through it. But I have to tell you, like, the level of what you have to focus on and who you have to become and the breath work and all of the things that we need to be learning in this season, and why this season for all of you is actually the best season, and why I don't want you to wish it away, is because you are getting so fucking refined by that fire right now. You do not get to become that woman without being in the fire. You do not get to be her. And so when you are in it, like, I want you to sit in it and know it's very uncomfortable, but there's other women in it with you, and you are getting so refined. It is burning away all of that discomfort. It's burning away the patterns. It's burning away the, things that you thought you were so afraid of. Like, you will face those face on, and you will get through just fine. If you have your groups, if you have your friend groups. They're the only thing. My female friends are the only reason I'm here and better. My husband, of course, too, he's been such a rock. But there's things that he couldn't understand. I think for a woman holding, for men it's a little bit easier monetarily, that responsibility of holding money. Not all men, but most men that I talk to, they can disconnect from the emotional side of what that means. And that's actually a gift. So as I move forward, my hope is that in the future that I can learn how to emotionally disconnect a little more, to bring those stories back. Because honestly, that's the only way we're going to get to go to the vision that we see. And I know that that's a little opposite of the things that we also need to be doing in learning. It's like, how can we have somewhere in a friend group or in a container where we can get so fucking emotional that you can actually go emotionally disconnect in the areas that are important? Does that make sense? So my hope is that I can continue to go out and then continue to bring the wisdom back so that we don't quit, on ourselves when we know a big vision is supposed to happen. Now, I share this only for people who really have that call, who know they're supposed to go there. I don't think it's for everyone. I'm going to be honest. I used to sit on stage and be like, go girl. And I'm like, if you don't know if you want what I just explained or to go through that, I don't recommend it. I recommend just lowering not lowering, I don't want to say lowering, finding a vision that feels really good in a place that doesn't feel so freaking expanded. Does that make sense? So the thing that I don't want for people, because we work with a lot of people, and I'll be so honest with them, like, you have to know what type of business you actually want. Because people will give us a number. They'll tell us a number, and they'll be like, I want a $10 million business per year. And we'll go, why do you want that? So how much does your ideal life actually cost you per year? And for a lot of people, most people, it's $1 million and under. Like, you can get not in California. Who are we kidding? But it's like
Kansas. If you want to live in Kansas,
yes,
you're good with $1 million, okay?
I saw the best meme. It was like, you can't even leave your house in LA for less than $500. I was like, that feels accurate, actually.
So accurate.
Actually, like, coffee, dinner, gas, groceries. You're like, okay, you're back at home. But with that said, there's something that we love to do. It's just defining, like, adding up everything you'd ever want in your day-to-day life and seeing how much that actually costs per year. Let's start right there for your yearly goal. Because if you want a $10 million a year business, I have to also tell you what your life will look like for a while getting there. And a lot of people are not willing to give that up. So what happens is that you are always going to be wanting this $10 million vision, and you're going to feel so unsatisfied with the fact that you're also doing amazing. And that sucks, like, because you're not going to be happy with the things that you already have. So how can we make sure that you're aligning your actual like goals with a life that will make you very, very happy? And then how about once you get there, we decide, does that $10 million vision still feel good or not? Because, you know, there's a lot of women in my industry who have, everybody like has wanted their businesses, and they're, you know, when I get in those rooms, they're trying to deconstruct their business and figure out how to get out of it. Or, whoa, I just realized, yeah, I might have a $20 million business per year, but I have 50 employees. And now all I'm doing is managing people, and this is not what I thought I'd be doing. So what exactly is it that you want, so that we can set up a life that feels really, really good while it's stretchy, while you're, you know, you're building that thing that like actually feels good from day to day with your family, with your friends, all the things.
So good, so good. When you were sharing the story from, was it called Think Pink? Drink Pink.
Light pink.
Light pink, there we go. Light pink into glossy. As you were sharing the story, what I was seeing in my mind's eye was Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. And it's like the cave, like being in the cave and just like crying to Chris and just having to tell your investors that we lost $1 million. And then all of the lessons that came. And then now you're sort of back with the gifts, and now you're building Glossy. And I love that you also said, there's no guarantee that this company is going to work, but I just got better because of the last one. So what I'm curious about is, what is the skills, the characteristics, and the traits that you learned while you were in the cave to prepare you for your next thing?
Ask for help as soon as you need it. Ask for help as soon as you need it. And I know you all need it right now. Ask for help on everything, because I sat longer than I needed to. And I, you know, during that time, you guys, when you're in a situation like that, even if it was only 30 days, that's 30 days of payroll. You know, that's 30 days of problems. That's 30 days of, I could have solved things much, much faster. And because I think I felt so much, we feel shame in those moments, right? Shame is what then puts you in a spiral and makes you start doing things, hiding things. It makes you start like hiding yourself. It makes you start feeling small. It makes you start feeling weak. And telling people and asking for help busts that. It busts shame. And so the more that we can bust shame frequently every day, like I don't sit, it is rare you will not see a voice note going out of my phone every day to somebody. Hey, I'm having a rough time. Hey, this just happened on my team. How should I handle this? Like, I do not sit in it at all anymore. I am asking people. And what I've learned is mentors and people ahead of you, if you're doing the do, they love to help.
Yes, 100%.
They love to help, especially when you learn that when you get to higher levels, they want like one specific question at a time. They don't want like, hey, I have 15 problems. I'm so overwhelmed. It's like, hey, I have this one thing, like I pick problems for people, right? I'm like, she'd be good with this problem, then I'm gonna I scatter my problems. So it feels more like fairy dust than like heavy for these people. Like, you get a problem, you get a problem. So then it's like, okay, she can handle this problem. Very specific question. Hey, this is happening on my team. I try to leave less than a 30-second voice note or like a very short text, and they're more than happy to chime in with that. So that's been really, really helpful. I would say that those are trust your intuition faster. There's still a lot of things. There's still, you will continue to make mistakes, because there's a lot of people out there who really do mean their best. And there's a lot of times that a fit for your company might have been a great fit for another company, like an agency or a person or an employee, or even the path to get there. It might have been great for these people, but it doesn't necessarily work for you or in your model. So even like vetting people very hard, you're still not gonna necessarily know. And also the world is changing, so the time is changing of how things are marketed, messaged, how you're saying things. So I think you have to move through things quicker. Like when I know someone's not a fit, I try to really, like I'll give it like this is how long this should take. And if it doesn't take that long, 2 a day, I'm pretty good with being like, okay, when we agreed to this, you know, we said 90 days, let's give it a try. We're at the 90 days. We're not seeing the results that we talked about. We're going to move forward. I don't wait anymore. Every time you wait, it energetically drains you. And I want you to think of like that problem as a suitcase all lined up. Every time that you don't solve a problem, you're picking up those suitcases and you're carrying them throughout your whole day. And then you're wondering why you're so energetically tired. It's because when you know there's a problem, you need to solve it and put it down and get rid of it so that you can move through lighter through all your stuff. And so I would say the biggest thing is asking. fast.
I love like a lot of the things that you're pointing to are just, it's like reiterating some of the big key things, right? And asking, it's such a big one. It's like we don't ask because we don't want to feel like we don't know what we're doing. But that's all ego. You know, it's like, how can we remove the ego around that and go, I actually have no idea what I'm doing. It just looks like I do, but I definitely don't. I need help. 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 And it becomes the who, not the what. It's like, who do we know that's already solved this problem, and how can I ask them for help to collapse time? And just draw the close. Yeah, so you are a master at relationships. Really, truly, it's incredible.
Thank you.
Female friendships, everything. Actually, I shared this with you. I think I shared it with you. If not, I'll tell you now. But I remember coming to your house in Santa Monica. I think it was the second time I was on your podcast when we did it in person. The first one I think was online. The second one was in person. And I remember walking into this like beautiful home with your gorgeous dogs, and it's just so bright. And I just remember seeing like your vision statements and your goals and just how you and Chris were together. And I was single at the time, or newly out of a relationship. And I just remember walking into your house and just letting the transmission of what you guys have created in your marriage just like impact me. And I'm like, I am manifesting that type of marriage. Yeah, it's so good.
I love that. I tell people a lot, like, now, I don't want you all coming over to my house. Some of you, just kidding. But I feel like when some single people find us, I'm thinking of people specifically, I feel like it's like they've been looking for like a model of a relationship. No, don't get me wrong. I have worked so hard on this relationship, and it has been up and down and all over the place. But I feel like when people come into our lives, I kind of like watch them go and find people. I'm just saying. If you want to rub up on my arm, anyone,
just come touch her
just
later.
say it's like a rabbit's foot for relationships.
What's that new song that's popular? It's like, where's my husband? Like, where's my... Kind of like
That's so good.
It's like, where's my husband? Anyway, just rub Lori's arm like a genie, and like he'll just like pop up at this event. He'll come through the floor.
No, thank you for that. Thank you. That means
incredible.
a lot.
It's incredible. It's so... I think the divine union is so important, you know, divine masculine, divine feminine together, building together, creating together, allowing each other's like nervous systems to be medicine for each other. It's everything. It's so beautiful, and you and Chris are a huge example for Eric and I. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for saying that. And I feel like I have to share. It has not been perfect. Like I used to really hate him. When he came home from, so he worked at a place called HSBC, which is like a big banking company, and he was a district manager for like 4 of the states in the Midwest. And he was, there's no other way to say it, he was kind of a young hot shot, like moving up in the ranks, like really fast. And so at work, he was, because I think he was flying up also, he was a little bit of like a hothead and worked with all men. And while he's like one of the most beautiful humans I've ever met, in the work environment, he's very like dominant, quick, say the fastest thing to get to the point. Anybody know these people? Okay, great. That was my husband. So good being married to him, like when he comes home and leaves work at work, like obsessed with him, right? Okay, well, then this dream happens of like, I want to retire my husband. Not always a great dream, ladies. So he ends up coming home and working with me on my personal brand in network marketing. And after the recession in 2008, because that whole industry that he was in actually collapsed, it was gone. He didn't even have another job to go to. And thankfully I was building a few things on my end. And when he came home, it was like working with the devil. I couldn't stand him. I thought we were going to get divorced. He, like, I was doing Bliss Project, like one of the first events, and he's like, we put money down on the venue, and you only have 100 tickets sold, we're upside down, blah, 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 and I'm like, I sit and manifest the people coming, and he's like, you can't fucking manifest your way to 200 more tickets, and I'm like, I can. It was awful, like, it was bad, it was actually bad. When I say, like, we were kind of rocky. Like, it was not good. I didn't like him. He really bothered me. Like, I didn't like having him home. I was like, it was so, we didn't speak the same language. We weren't communicating. And we actually ended up doing a bunch of personal development stuff together. So we went to Landmark, we did Tony Robbins. We learned at Landmark especially that because that was our very first personal development. Landmark's, it's interesting. But with that said, if anyone's ever went, it's interesting. And it really works, like if you let it work. But with that said, after that, we learned the fact that like our brain is always kind of running its own story and it's only running our story. And also that we're speaking two completely different languages. And so I had to learn that Chris really just wants to solve a pain point fast. And he's going to solve it in the only way that his man brain is going to do it. And so I am going to solve it in a very different way. And what's going to happen is that we have to find some form of communication together to bridge that. But we also have to know that you need to sit over here, Chris, and let me do my thing. Like it's worked for this long. And on the other side, full transparency, I needed to respect him more. I needed to respect him more. And I did not. Because I was like, I'm doing my thing. I'm over here bossing up. And he was really like, I needed to really appreciate him for what he was. And like a rock, and so good with structure, and so good with grounding, and so good with like, all of the things that I didn't want to be doing, finance, bills, all of those things. And it was like, how can we keep you there? How can I keep me here? How can we work together in the little, maybe 5 minutes a week? I'm not kidding. Everyone's like, you guys work together. I'm like, not really. We hate working together. We love working together. Like we do masterminds together and we rock it. We rock the stage. We fucking love it. It's the most fun thing that we get to do. But leading up, we even usually have like separate meetings with the team. Isn't that interesting? It's so great. But I'm telling you this because so many women are like, I thought this was the dream. I'm like, no, it's not.
So good.
You got to find your own way to do it. So I do want to share, like, if people are like, I thought that'd be the dream and I'm really struggling. Yeah, you're with someone who speaks Greek and you don't at all. Yeah. And you have to figure out what that looks like.
And I heard the other day that you have multiple marriages with the same person.
Oh, so good.
Right? It's like,
so good.
Even like in the year that we've been married, I'm like, our relationship is so different now than it was before. It's so crazy because you just keep reinventing. And it's not like, you just keep growing and growing and growing, providing that both people are up for growth, right? That's absolutely needed. Gosh, this time has flown. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you. I would love for you to share a little bit about Glossy, your new company, and just give us a little spiel about Glossy and how we can get our hands on some Glossy.
Thank you so much for that. Sorry, I'm like, where's the clock? So I keep going,
Jenny's like, 10, 5.
Okay, great. I was just telling Kaylee, I'm like, we can't go over. So Glossy is a daily beauty supplement. And when I was in my very stressful point, wondering where to pivot from light pink, I looked down, or I had quit like all my supplements and taking care of myself, except I looked down and saw this one little hydration packet. And I thought, wow, I've let everything else slip except for this. Why did this stay? It's because it was easy. And it was like, if I only did one thing and drank my frickin' water for the day to take care of myself, I need to do one thing during this hard time. And I thought, why doesn't this one packet do more for us? So that's what we did. We named it Glossy. It is skin and gut. We did a bunch of surveys into groups that said if you could have 3 major benefits from this one stick, what would they be? And we had women say that they wanted to feel lighter, they wanted to be regular, take regular poops. Who doesn't? Yeah. And they wanted to look better, like have glowing skin, have good skin, do as much as they could for their skin. And so I was like, why can't we do that in this packet? Why are we just drinking expensive salt and sugar? Yeah. Like, why am I not able to do that? So we started just going to town on creating that, and that's what we did. So it's all about feeling lighter, taking regular poops, and having amazing skin. And yeah, these are all the things, and that is Glossy in a nutshell.
How can we get it? How can we?
Sorry, I'm not linear. Can you tell? She's like, Lori, you still haven't answered the question. You guys, it's at getglossy.com, and it's Black Friday sales right now. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful for you guys. I hope that you love it. I hope that you try it because it truly is it is game changing.
It's incredible.
And I'm obsessed with it.
It's incredible.
And honestly, I feel like you're all a bunch of baddies in here. So we have an insane premier partnership program. If you are someone who loves to sell, we give you a lot of money for it. So anyway, there's that. Okay, thank you so much.
A very generous affiliate program. Get on your feet. Give Lori a round of applause.